Gonna feel real weird, but you're alright. Alright, go. Go driver just a little bit. Alright, keep coming. Straighten up. Keep coming. Yep. Keep doing good. You're gonna drop. Passenger like this. You're coming down.
Right now.
Coming down. Turn driver. There you go. And then there you go.
Right after this. Right now.
What's up everybody, Bandit here. Now, if you've been on Instagram or any of the other social media sites, you've seen something about these. Whether it's MaxTrax or Treads or X-Bull traction boards seem to be all the rage these days, and we wanted to see if they were worth it. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while and our Instagram, you may have seen I did get these a while ago, and we didn't make a video on it right away, and that's because I really wanted to test these things out. Now, here where we live in southwestern Virginia, there's not a lot of sand, and these things are used and tested heavily in sand. So we wanted to use and test them in basically every other terrain that we encounter. So snow, mud, rocks, all like that, and see exactly if they're worth all the hype. We're doing the old opposite approach. We got the front left, back passenger. Man, you're almost sitting on the skid plate too on the snow.
Do what?
You're about sitting on the skid plate in the snow too.
In the snow or around the road?
On the edge of it, like the crease, I guess. All right, let's try that. You got 8-track or are you doing just 4 low?
8-track, 4 low.
Okay.
Alright, now what?
I guess we try it again. You moved.
Yeah.
You launched this back one as soon as you started going, and then the front left one's the only one that pulled you out. So these are the Tread Pro traction boards, and basically it is just another brand of the same thing. Now, what makes these unique is the black parts are reinforced, really nice. They say, you can see it right here maybe, that it's printed on here that you can use this side as a shovel, where this side is more of a ramp. So you can use it whichever way you need to kind of move debris out of the way and then get yourself going. But basically all of these brands have basically the same idea in mind, where, you know, instead of deploying a winch or you know, getting a tug from somebody else, you can deploy these things and hopefully get yourself out of a sticky situation. And are they worth it? Well, I think you need to kind of calibrate your expectations when you use these things. These are not the end-all solution, and I would not throw away the rest of my recovery gear just to have these. We have a lot of faith in our Treaty Oak off-road gear. Those straps and shackles have been excellent and have definitely gotten us out of a lot of situations. But to be completely honest with you, I think these things are also worth their weight as well. Now, again, these can be combined with other uses. You can't just use them on their own. But overall, we've had pretty good luck with them. We did use them in the snow. They were not impressive in the snow, but I think the idea behind that was we were laying them on pavement when we were trying to use them. It was a very icy day. We just decided, since we had these, we'd throw them out there and see if they would grab, and they didn't. I think since the road was iced over, they just shot out the back and didn't really help us. But in trying that, it only took maybe a minute before we broke out the straps and the shackles and everything else. You know, all you gotta do is grab these out of the bed of your truck or the back of your 4Runner or whatever SUV you may have, throw them down and try them out. Not a whole lot of time spent there. Then from there, we were able to move on to other modes of recovery, you know, the straps, the winches, everything like that. Now, in other terrain, we've actually had really good luck with them. We used them on a really muddy, kind of a soft bank, and the road was basically given way beneath us, and we were able to reinforce that road with the tracks. You're not going to be able to do that with winch or anything else. Basically, we were able to build up the low side of the hill and kind of make a temporary roadway. Then we were through, we could pull them up and move on. That was a really great use for them that I hadn't seen in the past. It worked really well. It got us out of our situation, and also, if we were just to pull a winch in that scenario, we had a convoy of maybe 5 or 6 vehicles or more with us, you'd have to pull that winch line out every single time. Where with these, you lay them down once, all vehicles in the party can pass over, and then you can move on.
I'll do all 4 corners.
There you go.
Now, our most recent use of these Tread Pro traction boards was actually down in Uwharrie National Forest in North Carolina over the weekend. And you can see that's actually where they got a couple of their battle scars, but that's actually really interesting. I'll show you that here in a second. But basically, it was a really wet, rocky hill climb, and we were almost able to get up it, but just because of the articulation that we didn't have in the Dodge and some of the other vehicles, and just the slipperiness of the situation, there was a spot where all of us got stuck. It was just the wrong scenario that we couldn't quite do it on our own and needed just a little bit of help. And I think that's where these things really come into their own. Again, they're not to replace all of your other recovery options. They're just to add to your arsenal. And, I was kind of a skeptic on these. I thought it was just a joke. I thought it was a mall crawler thing, and, they didn't really carry any merit. And I think in the right situation, they actually are really great, and I would recommend them. But again, going back off of this damage that they got here, you can see where there's some black, kind of rubber peeling up. This isn't from the board. I believe a lot of this is actually off of the tires, so you can peel it off here. And some of it's plastic, some of it is, rubber, but all of these kind of grooves, sipes, and knobs on here really held up great. At times we were actually doing basically burnouts on these things, and they held up really great. That is not the intended use. They're not really meant to be burnout boards, but they did hold up to that, and I was really impressed. I mean, we basically tested these things as hard as they could be tested, and that's all we have to show for them. All we did was pressure wash them off, and this is exactly how they came out. We didn't do any cleaning, but basically we used these things very, very hard 3 or 4 times throughout all the different terrain and issues that we ran into out on the trail, and this is how they look. So overall, we've had these things for about 6 months, taken them on several adventures, and we've used them several times, and I'm very, very happy that A, I bought them, and B, they've held up as well as they have.
Bump that!
On the brakes, I can only do so.
Yeah.
Am I good there?
Yeah.
Are showing up everywhere now, and MaxTrax are pretty much the most expensive at north of $300. These things I actually got from $200 from our friends at Treaty Oak Off-Road, and they were on sale at that point. I think the normal price for these is around $250 to $275, let's say. And then your X-Bulls sit below that, and they are a good bit cheaper. They normally run around $100 or so. You can even get cheaper ones from there. Now, in my experience, I've only used these. We will make another video comparing the cheap ones to these and see how they all hold up. But in my experience, these things have been great. We put the full weight of the vehicle on them several times in kind of bad situations where they've really started to flex. And as you can see, they returned to form here perfectly. There's no issue with that. They still nest great. And they have all these mounting holes where you can attach them to your vehicle. But overall, I'm really impressed with these things. Again, I don't think I would replace all of my existing recovery gear with them, but I think added in the right situation, they can provide a lot of help. And again, these are probably the fastest recovery option that I have when I'm going off-road. All you have to do is get out, throw these under the tires, and try it out. And honestly, I definitely would recommend them. If you are interested, we can provide a link in the description of this video, so be sure and check all of that out. But let us know what you think. Do you think these are just a really expensive piece of plastic, or do you think they actually do carry some merit? And please include your own experiences down in the comments below. We always do really appreciate hearing all of that. So if you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing and liking the channel. We do really appreciate the support. Thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody. We'll catch you next time.